ways of preventing their bodies from drying out in the air. They also have ways of avoiding the beaks and jaws of predators. How a tide pool animal survives depends on whether it is stuck to one place or can move around. Many animals are attached to the substrate, but they do not move around. This prevents them from being washed away.
Right, so we have that starfish. Mrs. B's going to try to draw a starfish here. And he's hanging on to all of these rocks, right? All the rocks over here. Okay, let's get back to Colin. Can you do the next one?
Push the 11 one time.
Some animals, such as mussels, have very strong hair-like fibers that attach to the substrate. Other animals, like barnacles, create cement-like glue that they use to attach themselves to rocks. Because they cannot move around, these animals cannot escape from the sun, air, or predators. Tide pool animals that are mobile, or can move around, are able to run, swim, and crawl. Some of these creatures are sea creatures that become trapped in tide pools during low tide. They cannot return to the sea until the high tide returns. But because they are mobile, they can seek shelter from the air, sun, and predators.
Right, so a crab, here's a crab. A crab might be a predator, right? And he might crawl over here and try to get these mussels, and he'll grab them with his pincers, and he might try to break them open and eat them, right?
With some butter and
lemon. All righty. Colin.
More like sushi.
Tell us about drying out. Drying out because the sun is out and it's hot.
No.
It's right, Bill? It's like when you're outside and you get hot and you need water.
Push the 12 one time.
Drying out. Most stationary tide pool creatures have found ways to protect their bodies from drying out. Some animals.
We'll do that again.
Okay. So we're going to look here at an anemone. I always love that word because anemones kind of love it. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Here's an anemone. Right here, I'm going to redraw him here. Look, he's got all these little tentacles. And that's how he gets his food, right? He kind of waves all these fingers out there and they grab little food that's in the water. But anemones can dry out really, really quick. So if they're out of the water too long and not covered, they're just going to dry up
Let's try
and
that.
die.
Let's touch up.
Okay, ready, Colin?
Drying out.
Drying out. Most stationary tide pool creatures have developed ways to protect their bodies from drying out. Some animals, such as barnacles and oysters, have hard shells that they can close or crawl into during low tide. Once in their shells, they have enough moisture to keep from drying out until a high tide returns. The stationary animals most in danger of drying out are the soft-bodied creatures, such as sea anemones. These animals are usually found close to the ocean, where the low tide does not uncover them for very long. When the tide is out, they close up their bodies as much as possible to keep moisture from escaping.
That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Right? If you have water, if you're a clam, like my clam, if you're a clam and you need to stay moist and you have a little bit of water in here, you're going to close your shell, right? So that the water stays in. Okay. Lucas, are you ready? Tell us about mobile tide animals. Mobile means they can move around, they can walk, they can squirm, they can crawl.
Mobile tide pool animals have a better chance of survival since they can move to prevent drying out in the sun and air. Many can dig into the sand, while others seek shelter under rocks or seaweed. A group of very thin crabs, called slider crabs, can slide their flat bodies into cracks between rocks. Slow-moving animals such as marine snails can hide inside their shells. They can actually close a little trapdoor and seal themselves inside. But usually there is enough water in a tide pool for mobile animals to swim or crawl about.
Right, so this guy looks like he crawled under the sand so he wouldn't dry out. But guess what? I think he's hungry. So Lucas, tell us what's going to happen next. He's coming out, and where is he going?
Eating and being eaten are facts of life everywhere, even in tide pools. Tide pool animals have unique and interesting ways of finding and eating food. Oysters and clams use hair-like parts to trap tiny animals floating in the water. Anemones and jellyfish sting tiny animals with their tentacles. An octopus uses its strong arms and suction cups to catch other animals. Crabs and lobsters use their claws to pick up food.
Do you see how big this claw is right here? There's this little animal. Look at your picture. There's this little animal with this body, and he's got this huge claw. Yep. Kiki, let's see what happens next. How do they avoid being eaten? If you're a little guy in the tide pool, what can you do? What can you do to shoo away those predators?
To avoid being eaten. Often, the way animals avoid drying out also helps them avoid being eaten. They simply slide under rocks or slip into their shells. Other tide pool animals run, scuttle, swim, or even jump to escape hungry predators. Some tide pool animals blend in with their surroundings. This helps them hide from predators.
Right, so this big bird would be a predator. Who's writing the word predator or choosing the word predator? Right? Predator. None of us are writing. Okay, that's okay. But look, he's after this guy right here.
I don't have paper in front of me.
Okay, Kiki, let's see. Who lives in the tide pools? Tell us a little bit.
What lives in invertebrates? The most common kinds of animals in invertebrates are called invertebrates. These animals have soft bodies and no range for creatures such as sponges,
Okay, well these are the things we're going to be looking for. Look, this is a sponge. I think we might see one of these. I don't really want to see one of these. This is a flatworm. Kind of creeps me out. And I really probably don't want to see this guy either. He's a segmented worm. So I can do without seeing those. I'm hoping to see a starfish and a crab. Okay, you want to try again, Kiki?
Okay.
One more time, please.
Eating and being eating is
invertebrates. The most common kinds of animals in tide pools are called invertebrates. These animals have soft bodies and no backbones.
No backbone.
They range from creatures such as sponges and corals to creatures such as octopi and sea stars. Invertebrates also include animals such as anemones, jellyfish, worms, crabs, shrimp, snails, and urchins. Invertebrates can be stationary or mobile. These drawings show invertebrates commonly found in tide pools.
So we're hoping to see these. It'd be neat if we saw a jellyfish.
From a distance.
There's a jellyfish right here. This is a jellyfish. Okay, so we're going to skip a few pages. I think we'll see these, though. I think we'll get lucky and see these guys. And maybe there are anemones again. And coral. Coral. Okay, Kiki, let's go to the next page. Here's some other things. An octopi. Actually did see one washed up
No one
once.
is an octopus.
You're an
I
octopus?
decided today.
Okay, Kiki, page 20, please. You're in slow-mo there, girl? Yeah.
is fish, which do have backbones.
They have backbones. Do you feel
There are
your
many
backbone?
types of fish that are adapted to life in the tide pool. Since tide pools are small compared